going on, everybody? James here. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. And I've noticed a topic that has been just popping in my head with the videos I've done the last few days and the 2 reaction videos that I've watched. There's one particular topic that seems to come up a lot lately, and I think this time of year I'm fighting with it a little bit too. And it's, I think, rampant in the reselling world for many reasons I'll get into. Of course, I'm making this, I don't have notes. I'm taking this off the top of my head, so forgive me if I stumble on my words and think during this video. But that is mental health. When you work for yourself, you have a lot of mental health challenges, motivation, being alone all day if you work by yourself. And in this time of year, obviously, you know, if you have parents who passed, it kind of makes it harder too. Then you have things like all the eBay issues when seems like there's more issues than you have sales, because, you know, like today, we're halfway through my day and I've got $200 on sales. We're December 10th. There's no way I should have only $200 in sales at this time of year. It's never happened in the history of me being on eBay, but yet here we are because of whatever they did overnight. So there's a lot of mental health, and you know, there's a lot. It's a huge mental game, I guess, to play, trying to stay motivated and everything. And let's see some of the tricks and trades that I've used over the years. I used to be fully out of the basement. That's hard when you have no windows. And the windows you do have are maybe very small and or already have stuff in front of them, so no natural light's coming through. So moving my office into a spot, I moved it here because of my dad, because we made his bedroom into the living room, made the living room into his bedroom, so I could always keep an eye on him. But one thing that it did is brought me a window with a lot of natural light. I have my desk at a certain angle, so my peripheral is always catching squirrels running on the fence. So that's always kind of just, you know, kind of a little perk in my day. I've actually had my desk more straight, parallel with the window, and I don't catch up on, you know, my eyesight don't catch anything out in the window. And I found that to be very, just, I don't know, boring. Like my peripheral will catch, you know, the squirrels running the fence. It'll catch when I have my flag up. I put it down at night when I have no leaves on the trees because people can see in. But when the neighbor lets their dog out, you know, my eye will catch it, and I could, you know, just gaze for a few seconds and watch the dog run or watch the squirrel run. And it's a mental pick-me-up, honestly. Don't be afraid to do, you know, little things like that to help you get through the day. Something simple as a squirrel running the fence makes me smile. You know, find your squirrel. And I don't mean in a like an ADHD way, but that makes you smile. Dag, I was going somewhere with that. Oh, speaking of another thing, if I'm feeling really down and unmotivated, and I talked about this in another video, I'll move stuff around. I will either, you know, go through some stuff that I had stored away and maybe pull out a couple of items, but the fact of me going through a box or moving stuff around, or I'll rearrange my office, like right now, like I said before in an old video, don't be afraid to leave a mess. You know, I got a spot that's just a mess. It always will be and always is. And it's kind of that way for a purpose, because if I'm having one of those days, I can use that space to clean up. And that gives me a little mental health. I clean up the space, so now it's clean and clear. Clean off your desk. That helps a lot. Find those little things when it comes to mental health that's going to help you get through not just your reselling day or keep you motivated, but with life in general. Being I came from nothing, I always loved the small things in life. The small things always thrilled me because that's all I had. Finding, you know, a Hot Wheel on the street as I'm walking to school. dude, I've done that a few times when I was a kid. That was like huge for me. It may have been ran over by a car, but I found this on the street. This is cool. And I'd add it to my Hot Wheel collection and used it as a wrecked car. So for me personally, it's very easy to enjoy the small things. Like, I get little gifts from like Jan, just this little tie thing last Christmas. She just came home from work one day and handed it to me. And it's been sitting here in front of my desk ever since. Little things like that. Little things like the little nerd that I got on last vacation when we went to the candy store. He sits here on my desk. Decorating my ceiling with stuff that I like. Not making the room so plain, making it busy. So I can always see something, not that I didn't see it there before, but it catches my eye. Different things will catch my eye on different days, depending on how I'm looking at it. Then I guess another thing, like I've talked about with mental health too, is with your system on when you're listing and how you're listing, create that system where you can change it up if you want to. Like right now I'm doing all pictures first on drafts, then I go back in and add the details and list. But it's set up where I could just go in and put all the details first. Like right here, all this stuff, pictures are taken. So I took pictures, put it here, details come next. Well, I have this desk here, or this shelving piece down there, table. Right now it's got stuff that I've already took pictures of, but that's there for when I do it the opposite way. If I do stuff and just put the details in first, then they go there, like the clothing that's underneath the records, on the side of the records. That stuff just needs pictures. It already has the details. So I'm able to go back and forth between what I'm doing, depending on my mood and how I'm feeling, because it will change every day. And that's a huge pick-me-up mentally when you're feeling tired of doing the same routine over and over again. Another good thing for me is like Christmas lights. I love Christmas lights. I grew up, I didn't have a bedroom. I've had spaces in a basement, but I use Christmas lights as my lighting. And so Christmas lights always take me back to just living in basements growing up and having my own little space. So for me, Christmas lights are real motivating and relaxing for me. So mental health is huge. And kind of what I just spoke about on, if you watched my newest reaction video, finding somebody in who has a store similar to yours, who's bigger than you, using them as motivation to grow your store. Using them, I want to get there. Even if it's so big of a store that you don't see yourself ever getting to, use that as motivation. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. So that's a good way to use human nature of competitiveness to your advantage and mentally get you through a situation. Like with me, every day I have to think differently almost every day, because my head's just weird. I daydream a lot. I dream a lot. I'm always trying to think of new creative things, and I'm the type of person that not a paragraph, but like a couple of verses for a song or poetry, whatever you want to call it, lyrics will just pop in my head just out of the blue, and I have to just start typing or I used to be writing, but nowadays it's typing. And I'll just have these two perfect verses that just pop in my head. So my head's always every day thinking differently. So I have to almost every day find different motivation to get me through the day. The one I go back to a lot is my 15-year-old self. If my 15-year-old self was in this position today, he would laugh at me and say, "What the hell is your problem not being motivated? Get your ass in gear and go. Get us out of here." Right? So putting myself back into that headspace helps a lot. For me, the dogs. For me, puppies, having the puppies around. If I need to plop down for a minute on their bed and just wrestle with them or rub their bellies. It's a huge mental break for me. Like I said, rearranging things. If I have to go down and I'm feeling unmotivated one way, I can go and reorganize stuff that's listed already. Another thing I've been doing lately is, since I'm moving hats over into my other store, if I'm feeling unmotivated with listing, I'll go ahead and just start moving hats over. And then I will cross-post those onto Poshmark. So cross-listing onto Poshmark's another huge way for me if I get too wrapped up into, slowing down and can't just go. And then that way I'm still doing something productive with the business. I'm still moving it forward. I'm still, I'm opening up another lane of sales for that item that I'm cross-posting. So those are the things right off the head that I can think of, mental health-wise. Also, with me having music on, keeps my body moving. Like I said before, I probably couldn't tell you what song just played, but I know my body was moving to it. And on those certain days, I'll just turn that volume way up where I hear the music. I'm singing with the music and doing that while I work. So there's a lot of different, ways to do it. Those are my best examples and what works for me. But I know probably most, if not all of us, in the reselling world and just with life in general, have just huge mental days where it's just feels pointless, if you will. And that's just with life and or just listing the way that eBay's been the past few years with all the problems. There's been several days for me, and you guys have shared it with me also on how you felt, that some days you just feel it's pointless to list on eBay because they're not helping us like they used to before promoted listings came into play and before they started rearranging the whole damn website and breaking everything. You don't feel like you have that backing anymore of a secure friend who was, helping you earn a living. eBay don't feel like that anymore. And that can be a real bummer. I think that, and another thing that works for me is these videos. Just being able to hit record and just say whatever's on my mind. That's why my channels have always been anything and everything. Just so that there's no limit, because I'm an open book about everything. I don't want to have something that's a limit to what I'm able to speak about, because my life has been reselling 24/7 for the last 23 plus years. And everything that I go through in life, mentally, even physically, usually revolves around the reselling world. So why not speak everything? Because chances are somebody else out there is feeling that too. Hence the mental health video. So hopefully something there can help you guys if you are struggling at times, and you can use one or a few of these as tips to try to better your day here and there. And if one of you can use one thing, then my job has been done with this video. And that is all. So thanks everybody. And yeah, right now I'm listing Christmas stuff. So I was having it, like, it's not, the Christmas stuff's not fun for me, but it's Jan's thing. And it's the time to put it up anyway, because that stuff's selling. So taking the time out to make a reaction video, now taking another 15 minutes for this video. Now I can get back into listing the Christmas stuff. So for me, making the videos. So a lot of different ways to do it, and use them all to your advantage. All right. Thanks, everybody. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are not, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.